it's Tanya and welcome back to the channel. Today I am back with another tiny house build because it's been a couple days. It's been a little bit more than a couple of days. We've been doing a let's build this week, which has been really fun, and I'm excited to share the next part of it probably sometime this weekend. I filmed it a little bit longer than normal, so it's going to take me a while to edit, but I'm having a ton of fun with that. But before I even started that, I had built this, and so I just haven't had the chance to share it yet. So I wanted to share this with you guys. This is a tiny house for a cat lady. This is a suggestion that I've had for a while, and I thought it would be really fun to incorporate room for a lot of animals in one house, particularly cats, which I think works out really nicely because there's way more stuff for cats than there is for dogs. Obviously, dogs have like the whole agility course and stuff, but I don't think that's really realistic for every house, particularly a tiny house. So this house is fit for one sim, one humanoid sim. It could be a vampire, I suppose, or an alien, or a plant sim. But this is for one sim and as many cats as they want, both ones living in their house and stray cats. I made sure to give this lot the like the cats, I don't know what the traits are called, but the lot traits that make it so strays are always welcome, particularly cats, and that it's like a good breeding ground too. So if you move in here with one cat or two cats, you can slowly turn that into many cats. And so there is everything you need inside for a cat, plus litter boxes and food bowls outside as well. So you can, just live out your life with all of the kitties. And this home is just a 1-bedroom house. I think you could probably renovate it into 2 bedrooms. You'll kind of see what I mean on the inside because there's this section of the house that is just for the cats. I imagine that this tiny house was originally built just in general, and it had this little sunroom on the back. And this woman moved in and was like, that is no longer a sunroom. That is a cat room. But this home comes in at around 61,000 simoleons. And I don't actually keep that bright yellow door and the bright yellow window. I do switch those out a little bit later for like a brown and a white color. And there ends up being some blue on the outside of this house. I think it's kind of a funky, sort of rustic looking tiny house. And we're adding some cat furniture now. The very first piece is this giant cat tree, which we have one inside as well. I did skip ahead and paint the house, and I do change it a little bit later. As I said, I did not keep the yellow, but I went through so many paint colors that I had to cut part of it out so that this would not be like 10 minutes of watching me try every paint color in the game. So we are skipping ahead to that point now, and placing down some terrain paint here and just trying to make it look a little bit more run down and not so perfect. I mean, there are lots of cats, both the person who lives here's cats and stray cats, absolutely everywhere. And while I have litter boxes outside for them, I imagine they're not always using them. They're probably digging things up and making a mess of the yard. And the woman that lives here does the best she can to maintain it. But I mean, she could probably have like 10 cats on this lot, probably more. Because if she's living here and she has 7 of her own, and then all the strays show up too, I mean, there's going to be a lot of kitties on this lot, and probably some dogs at some point too, some stray dogs. I imagine they will show up as well, but I do have the little mat in the front that's just like for cats, and like I said, the lot traits. I also included this little like gardening area in the front, and the only thing this woman grows is catnip, like various types of catnip, like nuzzlenip and whatever the other ones are called. I grabbed them off the gallery, like all kinds of spliced catnips, and it was just like, this is perfect. We will lure all of the cats in. I also used some of these like fences from Debug and some of these like poles from Debug as well to kind of fence in the garden area, which I quite liked. And then I ended up using the scarecrow from the Seasons as well, which I thought looked super cute in here. Just trying to figure out where I want to put some stuff, and I really wanted to use that fence, and we found out a way to use it in the end that I thought looked pretty cute. And then this is where I'm deciding there's going to be a cat room. So we're going to block that off right there. That's the cat room. They can actually jump right through the windows outside. They're indoor-outdoor cats, which I personally do not like the idea of. I know some people are into that, but I imagine that this particular sim is just like, yes, my cats can be free. They can hang out with the strays can come in the house. And I mean, in the game, they can't even jump through those arches anyway, so it's not a big deal. But that was definitely the thought process behind it. But we're just figuring out more of the floor plan here. The bathroom and bedroom are upstairs, and then, like I said, there's that little sunroom in the back on the main floor to be the cat room, and directly next to it is like the kitchen dining living all combined area. And then there's more areas on the front porch. As you can see, I'm adding some food bowls and some scratchers. And there are multiples of a lot of items in this house because I imagine there are just that many cats that you need all of that. There's only a couple of cat beds, I think, but cats will sleep on any surface and just like sit on top of your fridge. So I thought having only a couple of beds was fine. I only have one cat bed in my house, or even when I lived with my grandmother and we had a bunch of cats. We only had one cat bed, and they almost never used it anyway, so I think that's pretty realistic. But this is the kitchen area. I made sure to add all kinds of treats and like cat decorations. We have the succulent. We have the little guy on the counter. We're going to add this calendar. We added some piles of food. Just cat stuff absolutely everywhere, and I think it's just kind of cute. And of course the bowl, so if the cat wants to eat on the counter, they can eat on the counter. Maybe it's the cat that gets different food from the rest. I'm not entirely sure, but I kind of liked that idea for this particular home. And then we're just adding some more decorations around. I really went to town with the details. I really wanted to add this little towel rack on the side of this, so I just deleted the wall so it wouldn't snap to the wall, so I could place it on the side of the cabinet. And then a scratching board, not a scratching board. That is a cutting board. What am I saying? I'm thinking about cats too much. They have their scratching posts. Oh, my cat only gets the cardboard ones because he doesn't really care about the regular scratching posts. Plus, when he has that, I feel like it's like an association with, oh, this is carpet. I can scratch the carpet. I know every cat is different, but my cat's like that. And he loves his cardboard ones. He shreds them. It's kind of cute, but it's also a huge mess. And he recently destroyed his, so I bought him another one, but I forgot to open it. So I might have to give him that after I finish recording this voiceover because, I mean, talking a lot about cats right now, so I feel like I want to go spoil my cat. He is such a sweet baby, and he's actually has not interrupted this voiceover yet. I feel like he's done that a lot in the last week or so. I'm just like, every voiceover, oh my god, my cat. But so far, so good. It's been quite a few days since that has happened. I'm sure it'll happen again. So those of you that are like, I love it when your cat shows up, I'm sure he'll come back. But we're just adding some food bowls down here. So that we have a decent amount in the house. So I think we have 3 in the house and 5 outside the house. So you can fill so many food bowls and feed all of the kitties. And then we're adding a kitty litter box and a shelving unit in the cat room. We end up having 2 covered litter boxes in there, and like I showed, there's 3 outside. I don't think there's 1 upstairs. So I think there's a total of 5 litter boxes on this lot, and none of them are automated because I didn't find that realistic for the style of this house. So they're all kind of like regular sit down, scoop out the poop litter boxes. Yeah, just talking about cat poop. That's how my night's going. How are you guys doing today? Hopefully everyone is well. So moving on, we're putting down some cat food and treats again. I know I placed similar items, or at least that cat food I already placed down. Those treats, this is a different treat like selection from cats and dogs. I put more of those down because I really just wanted it to be like this person, their sole thing is their cats, whether they just love cats or maybe they're fostering them. I actually really like that idea. Just somebody that really loves cats, is fostering a bunch of them, has a couple of their own, is also helping with the stray cat problem. Hopefully like part of the TNR program. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's trap, neuter, and release. So like stray cats that are in communities, they don't really want to come back to living in a house because they don't want to go to living in a house because they have never been in a house. They're very comfortable and happy being out in the wild, but like they're reproducing too much and it's causing there to be like a problem with overpopulation and stuff. And trap, neuter, and release, or I mean, I guess it could be spay as well, probably, allows them to stay where they are and how they are getting their food and living their lives, but they are no longer contributing to overpopulation of the species. So there's your random fact for the day. I don't know how I got into that. I mean, I do know how I got into that, but yay for the TNR program. Actually, a lot of them have their like ears like clipped, so they're marked as like they've already been through it. And where I work, there used to be a TNR cat that would come just hang out, and I'd be like, oh, you were so cute, who's the sweetest. So just random fact, if you see like stray cats and they have like a clipped ear, it's not because they got injured. It means that they've been spayed or neutered and re-released. The things you learn when you watch too much YouTube. Anyone watch Kitten Lady? That's where I learned all that information. And it's a really cool channel. Really, really cool channel. Anyway, I think it's relevant because we're working on a cat house right now. But this is coming together. We just did some seating areas out back, and I believe if we didn't already, we're gonna add a what is it called? Oh my gosh. Sometimes my brain doesn't like to work. A grill to cook things out there. And also, oh yeah, it's already there. Also, I add a clothesline, but I don't think on camera I add a wash bucket, but I do that off camera later because I realized I didn't add it, which is kind of silly, as well as a basket, so you can definitely use laundry in this build. I also messed around with this forever. Like, I think that's how I kept it, with just some flowers up there, but it took me a very long time to figure it out, and I really like the accents on the outside of having the blue and then with the yellow flowers. I think it looks so pretty together. Definitely like that color combo. And then I added a, what's it called? Easel. I can't think of words today. I was definitely kind of inspired by that pink Victorian I did, where I imagine there was this woman with her cats who liked to paint them. Definitely incorporated that here, but more so probably just really into having cats and helping them. And like I said, the whole idea of like maybe fostering and just caring for cats. This person just really, really loves cats and wants to provide for them as much as possible. This is way more the cat's house than it is her house. I guess it could be a he too. This could be a Catman house. Oh man, now I'm thinking of Catman from oh man, I'm thinking of Catman from with Fairly Odd Parents. Good times, good times. Anyway, we're just adding a bunch of clutter on the shelves in here, as well as some posters on the walls. I have those little cat dance toys. Are those what they're called? Like cat dancers? I don't know what they're called. The little feathers on the end that you can play with your cats and they like jump like crazy for it. My cat really likes those. I got one for him for his birthday, and I have the most derpy picture of him like trying to catch it. It's fantastic. And just some debug items up here as well. I think those are all actually pepper spray, but they look like just animal things. So I put them up there, as well as some more food and some just clutter and some books and stuff. I just wanted it to look full, but also like it was mostly, if not completely, cat related. So that's what we're doing in there. And also that red shelf you see kind of floating around, that big red block. If you're not familiar with that, that is a CC shelf I use to place items at more precise levels. I use that instead of a regular shelf because it has more slots on it and can fit more items, because the shelves we have in game don't have that many slots and only a limited amount of items can fit on them, only very, very small items. So that's a cool CC shelf that I use to place items, but there's no CC in this build. That gets deleted, so you can download this no problem as long as you have the packs. And if you don't have the packs, it will delete or replace things based on what you do have in your game. And this will be available in the Sims 4 gallery if you search Gryphi or the hashtag MsGryphi. And if you'd like to download that shelf, that is also linked down below, as well as a direct download to this build on the gallery website if you'd prefer to download it that way instead of searching for it in game. But this is the bedroom. I really liked using this sunny bed. I thought like it was pretty artsy and would go with the whole art idea that I had downstairs, and just kind of bright and colorful compared to the rest of the house. There's all these like rustic wallpapers, and I feel like this fit that theme but made it a little bit more bright and cheery. And we just add a pile of books with a TV on top of it. I quite liked, as you can see, I'm kind of fixing where the TV is going to go based on where those books are using that shelf, whereas that TV would not fit on a regular shelf, so the red shelf really comes in handy. And just adding some posters around as well of cats, because this is a cat house. So then we're just adding a little bedside table and a little bit of clutter in here, not too much. I think we add some makeup and a cat bowl on the dresser, so nothing too complicated, not too much stuff in here. I just wanted it to look really cozy, and this whole place is supposed to like be more for the cats than it is for the sim that's living here. And I think I succeeded at that, but let me know what you guys do think of this. But here's that little makeup tray I had mentioned adding, and I also added this little mirror. I honestly, I added that because my best friend, they have a lot of cats, And her mom has like an antique-ish mirror hanging next to her bed. And for some reason, that was the association I made when I was decorating this bedroom. And then this is just the hallway area. It has a couple of cat things and just some storage as well. I also imagined, I know they can't technically, but that little, or maybe they can, I'm not entirely sure, I haven't seen it before, but that little dresser in the hallway, that's the cube shelves with the drawers in it, it looks like something that would be fun for cats to run up and down, like it's like mini stairs. So that's kind of what I was thinking of when I placed that there. It doesn't really fit the theme of the house. It's not the same style as anything, but I imagine it could be something that the Sim got for cheap at like a Walmart or something for some extra storage and thought, ooh, the cats might like this. So that's that was the thought process behind that. And we're just adding some clutter towels into the bathroom here, as well as some other bathroom clutter like toothbrushes and soap to wash your hands, and just trying to make it look as realistic as possible. But we'll be coming to the end of the video here, just placing down all this catnip I grabbed off the gallery, so your kitties can have all the catnip they want. But anyway, like I said, coming to the end of the video, I hope you guys did like this. If you did, make sure to let me know that down below. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. And also, you can give this video a big thumbs up. I'd totally appreciate that. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, you should totally consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you join us. And if you click that little bell, turn on notifications to be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.